Hello guys, and I am Aryan. Have you ever wondered how your mobile and laptop can perform so many tasks at once? Why the speed of CPU is important while video editing or gaming? To answer all this question, you must know about CPU. Well, today in this video, we are gonna learn about CPU. Well, before we begin, please subscribe our channel and click on bell icon for more notification of our video. Well, CPU is computer's brain. Its full form is Central Processing Unit. It's a computer's primary component that controls the machine's operation. CPU will be present in motherboard. The CPU receives input from computer's hardware and software and stores that data for processing. Later it is processed and outputs the result of processing. CPU is also used to run programs in computer. Let's go in depth. Now, first let's know about CPU architecture. I taught you about 32-bit and 64-bit architecture in last video. It's in card or in description. You can go and watch. Well, CPU is divided into three parts. That is ALU means arithmetic logical unit, CU means control unit, and MU means memory unit. What is ALU? Well, it is a part of CPU which is responsible for all arithmetical and logical calculations. CU controls the flow of information in system. The control unit is responsible for the flow of data from input devices to the processing unit and then to output devices. MU is a storage unit, holds all the processed data and unprocessed data. How do CPU processes data? It fetches the instruction from memory into processor. Next, it decodes what it has to do to data. Next, it takes the value from registers and add them together. Then, it stores the result back into another register. For your information, cache memory is like a high-speed, small-sized RAM located on the CPU. It stores frequently accessed data, reducing the time need to fetch information from slower than main memory RAM. Well, there is another thing called clock speed in your CPU. Well, clock speed is a measure of how many cycles a CPU can execute or process data per second, essentially determining how fast it can process information. A higher clock speed generally means faster CPU performance. It completes tasks like gaming or multitasking. Clock speed is measured in Hz, megahertz and gigahertz. Well, higher clock speed also has some drawbacks, that is heat generation. So, fans are included in desktop or laptop. User can sometimes manually increase a CPU's clock speed by overclocking the CPU. But it is risky due to the potential stability issues and heat generations. What is gigahertz? It is a unit of frequency used to measure how quickly an electronic device operates. Gigahertz is used to measure the clock speed or CPU frequency of a computer's processor. As I told, higher clock speed means faster CPU performance. For example, a 3.5 GHz processor can produce 3.5 billion instructions in 1 second. Well, there are cores in CPU. What is core? Cores are processing units that execute informations or instructions. The number of cores is limited due to the physical space on chip. The numbers of cores and threads in CPU can significantly impact its overall CPU's performance. More cores usually mean better performance. With cores, there are threads. Well, it's a virtual sequence of instructions that are created using technologies like hyperthreading or simultaneous multithreading. Thread allows single code to run multiple tasks at once. The number of threads is important for tasks that can be divided into smaller parallel processes. How the operating system allocates tasks to different cores and threads. There are many ways. First is multithreading. Multithreading allows multiple tasks to be executed simultaneously. Next, time sharing. The OS allows small time slices of CPU time to each task, switching between tasks to give illusion of parallel execution. It means it helps you in multitasking. Next is hyperthreading. This allows a physical code to be divided into two virtual cores, allow CPU to work on multiple threads at same time. Have you ever heard the word like benchmark? Well, if you don't know, benchmark is a standard or point of reference used to measure the performance something against another thing. CPU's benchmark is a series of tests that measures the performance of CPU by running few tests. Well, there are two famous benchmark software, that is Cinebench and Geekbench. Cinebench excels in CPU performance testing by simulating real-world 3D tasks. Geekbench also simulates 3D tasks to test CPU along with GPU. Well, what are the factors affecting CPU benchmark? Its clock speed, cache size, number of cores, cached memory, computer architecture, type of instruction, pipelining, bus speed, software or operating system efficiency. Nowadays, laptops are integrated with AI. How? There are two factors, that is thread director and NPU. Thread director is a hardware-based feature that helps optimizing performance by scheduling tasks on the right core at right time. Next up, NPU. NPU is full form is Neural Processing Unit. It is a specialized processor that mimics the human's brain neural network to perform AI tasks. Let me tell you about processor brands. There are two processor brands for computer, that is Intel and AMD. AMD full form is Advanced Micro Devices. There are so many brands for mobile processor like MediaTek, Apple, Qualcomm Snapdragon, Samsung Exynos, Google Tensor, MediaTek Dimensity, MediaTek Helio, etc. and etc. Well, with CPU, GPU is also main for your computer or mobile phones. So what exactly is GPU? Well, it is a powerhouse responsible for rendering graphics, processing image, and handling complex calculation related to visual output. In simple terms, it is a muscle behind what you see on your screen. Well, let us know more about GPU by understanding the architecture of GPU. CUDA cores for NVIDIA or stream processor for AMD. These are the individual processing unit within a GPU that can handle parallel tasks, making them ideal for graphic rendering or other tasks at intensive workloads. Memory bus. This is the pathway that allows data to move between the GPU and the video memory, or VRAM. A wider memory bus generally means better performance. Well, as CPU has random access memory, RAM, GPU also has something like that is VRAM, Video Random Access Memory. VRAM is specialized type of memory dedicated to storing graphical data. The amount of VRAM is crucial for handling high resolution texture, complex model and multitasking in graphic intensive applications. GPU's clock speed and boost. Similar to CPUs, GPUs have clock speed that determine how fast they can process data. Additionally, many GPU features a boost clock, allowing them to temporarily increase their clock speed for extra performance whenever needed while gaming. Let me tell you about GPU brand. Two major players dominate the GPU market, that is NVIDIA and AMD. Each company offers a range of GPU catering to different needs and budget. From NVIDIA GeForce to AMD's Radeon, there's a graphic card for every user. While playing game, in your game settings, have you ever observed the option called ray tracing? Well, ray tracing enhances realism by simulating the way light interacts with virtual objects, resulting in more accurate lighting and reflection. On the other hand, tensor cores are designed for AI and machine learning tasks, contributing features like NVIDIA deep learning super sampling. Just like CPU, as GPU work hard, they generate heat. Effective cooling solutions such as fan, heatsink, and liquid cooling are essential to maintain optimal performance and prevent overheating. Well, if you are building a PC, when selecting CPU or GPU, consider factors like your budget or what use you're selecting the PC, like uses like gaming, content creation or professional work, and compatibility. with your system. Online benchmarks and reviews can be valuable resources in making the decision. Well guys, hope you have an idea about CPU, and for our next video please subscribe our channel and click on bell icon. Until then, bye
Go
bye.
again.